Mega Mike the Movie Man back here with our post-game review, finally, of Jurassic World Dominion. So this is going to probably have some spoilers in it. We're probably not going to try to give away too major of plot points, but just be warned, it's a post-game show, so some story parts might come up. So just be aware of that. But yes, I'm joined today again by my co-host,
Last American Girl.
Yes, and we're going to go through our usual 10 topic questions here, getting our discussions going, basically kind of reviewing this movie as we go through our 10 questions. So let's not waste any time. Make sure you have your drink ready to go. I know I got my Jurassic World Dr. Pepper drink. So let's get into this. We'll start here with our first question. So our first question, we're going to start very basic. What did we think of the overall story and script for this movie? Now, to me, I had issues with this part. So to me, we already knew this was going to be a long story because it was over 2 hours, 20 minutes. And so that made me a little worried at the beginning. I'm like, can they pull this off, right? I don't know. To me, they did not pull it off. To me, the story got very convoluted, and I'm still trying to think back to what happened with the story, because we basically had two stories going at the same time, and then they collided together, and that's what kind of threw me off. We had the legacy characters, and they had their own story, which I thought was a really weird premise. It was more of a focus on like locusts destroying like farms and crops, if I'm remembering correctly. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Why are we focusing on these bugs? Give me some dinosaurs legacy characters. Like, well, look, come on, let's go. Let's fix this right now. They didn't fix it. But then we had the newer characters, right? We had our good old Chris Pratt Owen character, right? With Blue and the baby Blue storyline. It became like a rescue mission operation, right? And then eventually those stories collide. But to me, it was just all over the place. There was a lot of jumping from place, location to location. And there would be like some jump edits where I'm like, wait, how did we get over here now? That happened so quick. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm getting lost. Oh my gosh. So overall story, Last American Girl, I think you like this movie a little bit more than I did. So what did you like about the story? We got to give it some positives in here.
Some positives here. I like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are very cool. I did like it, but in the story itself would have been a great story. What wasn't great was all the jumping around, but the story in itself and how it kind of got together with the two separate stories, I did enjoy that. I did like seeing the legacy characters and seeing the new characters and seeing even newer characters. So you're saying that there's two lines here? There was three, because we got a bunch of
I was trying to be generous with it, but yeah, if you add the new characters, yes, you get a third storyline in there.
There was just so much going on, and I like the plot with the rescue mission. I was my sister absolutely despises locusts, so she said that this was the scariest villain that there's ever been. And so yes, why was the main villain locusts? That's the question to ask here.
That it disappointed me so much because I wanted so much from these legacy characters, and we'll talk about them in the next question. But I think that's what threw me off. So many different storylines. I think I did like the rescue mission operation story a little bit more probably than the locust story. So if it just focused on the rescue mission op, right, trying to save baby Blue, I think I would have been a little bit more on board with it. But I don't know, it just got too. Yeah, it would have been fine. I think it would have worked a little bit better for me, but it got kind of jumbled. And we got to talk about the script here. This was the most offensive script to me in a long, long time. Oh my goodness. Who were the writers for this movie? I don't know. You know what? I'm sure they're decent writers, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't their day at the office on this one, because this dialogue. I don't know if I was maybe in a bad mood, I was tired, but I would laugh out loud in this movie at the most. It's probably the most inappropriate times to laugh because I think I was the only one laughing. So I don't know what it was with me, but I thought the dialogue was so bad in some areas. I'm like, oh my goodness, did they just do this? Did they
They
say
threw in like a couple like song quotes that you could like finish off.
oh
It's
my
just
goodness.
really, it
I,
was weird.
there was just some weird moments. I'm like, I try to erase it from my mind, but one that pops into my mind, it was with the villain. We'll talk a little bit more about this villain business scientist guy, whatever he was, but he would just say the most like cliche villain tropey things. And like how he would say things like, I don't know if he was giving it his best performance or what, but it was just coming off like phoned
Mhm.
in, very just, yeah. So to me, the writing here, the dialogue, just for a lot of the characters wasn't working for me. To me, it wasn't the sharpest dialogue here. To me, it was
Mhm.
probably the worst out of any of the Jurassic movies. I don't know. To me, that stuck out like a sore thumb. How was the writing and the dialogue for you, Last American Girl?
Um, Again, I try to see this like in the eyes of being a dinosaur movie. So like Godzilla movies are notorious for being like terrible dialogue, terrible plot. So at least this one had a little bit more plot, so I'll give it that. But like you said, compared to the other ones and how great they've been doing with these last two movies and kind of the buildup of it, it was just really underwhelming. And you're right with like a couple of cliche lines with the scientists and
Oh
uh,
my goodness. Like, and you're right, because a lot of the Jurassic movies have had really good, memorable lines, in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of quotable lines, a lot of character lines you remember. Like, Jurassic has some of the best memorable lines of all time. And I was
mhm.
hoping for more of that in this movie. The script did not deliver it for me, unfortunately. And I'm telling you, this is a script that, oh my goodness, was this a rough draft? I don't know. Maybe it could have gone through some revisions, but I'm telling you, I don't remember a script this bad in the last couple of years. You know, like
Oh.
a Godzilla vs. Kong movie. Okay, not the best story. You're right. Maybe not the best script, but I don't remember laughing out loud in a movie where I was not supposed to be laughing. So maybe it was just me, but I don't know. It wasn't working for me. But
No,
let's get.
there were a couple moments where we
Oh,
laughed
okay.
out
It
loud.
wasn't just me,
Yeah.
was it? Was
No,
a
it was,
couple
it did
questionable
have
moments.
some moments.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't just
Yeah.
me, because I was just like, ugh. All right. So, well, you were a little bit more forgiving of the story and script, right? You kind of knew what you were going into with a dinosaur movie. I was less forgiving on this one. But let's get into our question two here. All right. What did we think of the original legacy characters? All right. We got them all back, all the doctors back. So I was not impressed. I was underwhelmed. I did like seeing them on screen, so I was happy to see their faces at least. It was like a reunion with them. I thought that was all cool. But I don't know. I felt like a lot of them were phoning in their performance, like Dr. Alan Grant.
Mhm.
Usually he's a standout in these Jurassic movies. Like, I know he can bring a good performance. I don't know if he's just gotten to just like not caring too much anymore about
He
it.
just like his character just felt a little lost the entire time.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Like, is he remembering? Like, does he know what movie he's
You know
in?
what a
Or
dinosaur is.
yeah. Like, is he remembering his lines of dialogue, or did he just not care about it? So, like, to me, he felt the most phone in performance out of the legacy characters. I don't know what was going on with him. I wanted greatness. I got really underwhelmed with him. Oh my goodness. So what do you think of Dr. Alan Grant? He was just kind of
I was just kind of lost, and then they gave him the kind of romantic interest plot
oh
and all of
gosh. Oh, what was that? Romance did
this.
not work for me at all. Was it working for you at all, or no?
No, well, that the plot. For his lines, no, not at all.
To me, it felt very forced in there. It's like the
Mhm.
writers thought, okay, this is what the people want to see. It's been such a long build up to this. So let's just give it to the fans. It's like, okay, so we got to shoehorn this in here. And to me, I don't know, it didn't feel organic. It didn't feel like there's the chemistry there. It didn't come off
It was
naturally
cute.
to
I
me.
liked it at the end. I liked it,
So
but
you think it paid
it was
off?
it was just cute. That was it. It
Okay.
wasn't. It could have the movie could have gone without it, but
Mm.
it was there.
All right. And so, okay, so then we have the other half of that coin, right? What's her name? What's her character name? I'm trying to remember. Or
Ah,
what's the actress's name?
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern. Okay, so the doctor, the scientist she plays.
Dr. Laura
I
Dern.
Yeah, so I thought her performance was a little bit better than Dr.
Mhm.
Alan Grant. I'll say that. But the story she was in with the locust plot line, like, okay, she's supposed to be like a dinosaur expert, right? She has
Mhm.
all this wisdom on dinosaurs. They could have done something really cool with that. They stuck her with a bunch of bugs. Lost missed opportunity for me on her.
Mhm.
Just why? Just like for why? I don't understand. So she was lackluster to me, I guess mediocre at best. Now, I will say Dr. Ian Malcolm, that's my go-to guy right there. I think he
Mm,
was better. He was probably my favorite out of the three right there. But I don't know.
really?
Yeah, he was, but hey, I'm not gonna let him off scot-free either now. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't as good as he's been in other Jurassic movies. This wasn't A plus Jeff Goldblum performance right here.
Mhm.
Okay, so he had some moments too. I was kind of questioning. So even though I think he was the best out of the three, I still think the bar was set pretty low to begin with. So these legacy characters just they felt out of place to me. They felt out of
Yeah.
time. I know it's a Jurassic movie, but they felt really out of time. Like I felt the age on them, unfortunately, as in
Mhm.
comparison to like the pace these newer movies have been moving at, the newer characters. It just felt like I don't know, they're like tracking through mud.
Mhm.
I don't know. To me, they felt slowing down the movie, but that's how they came across to me. What do you think, Last American Girl? Just how they
I
all
feel
work
like
together.
yeah, they could have totally just given them like a prequel or something, like a little short series before watching this one, and then have them meet up. Like this could have been done in even two easy parts, like how they did with WandaVision,
Oh yes.
like something like that for them. As far as my favorite character out of the three, I like Laura Dern's the best because it feels like she's had more consistency with her acting. Like she was in Star Wars, she's been in a couple other things. Recently, a Marriage Story. I think she won an Oscar for that. And like her acting is just great. But for what they could have done with her and what her character is supposed to be, it was entirely underwhelming.
Oh yeah, I mean, she worked with what she had. She wasn't given a lot to work
Script.
with, though. Yeah, but she tried to sell it. She did try to sell it, so I'll give her that.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I don't
And
know.
then
These characters, just ooh.
and then your boy,
Dr.
Dr.
Ian
Malcolm,
Malcolm.
he's he's not. I guess I just didn't get the appeal that I got out of him like in the original movies. Like they try to like in one of those scenes, like it was very Indiana Jonesy to me, Professor Jones to me. And I was just like I've seen this before, but I've seen this done correctly.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know what they try to do with his character in here. And he's usually so good with all these powerful lines and memorable lines. I don't think he had any memorable lines in
He
here.
was just
It
running around, kind of chill.
Yeah, and it was so weird how they put him into this plot. It's like, why did this villainous organization hire somebody they knew would probably be a flight risk? Like, it was like, okay, the hiring committee. Let's take a look at this person here. Okay, we know what our
Mhm.
plot is. We know our plans. hey, let's go with this person that's always been against this sort of thing before in the Jurassic
Mhm.
movies. Yeah, let's get that guy. Let's hire him. That's not a recipe for disaster at all. Okay,
Yeah.
when you're hiring, okay, this is hiring business 101. You want to pick somebody that shares the same mission and vision and values as you do. I mean, that's just hiring HR 101. They just went opposite with this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's what I'm saying. Like this plot was just thrown together in such a weird,
Mhm. All over the
odd
place.
way. And it's like, ugh. Didn't feel like an organic story with these characters here. So let's get into our third question here. All right, what did we think of the Jurassic World characters, right? The newer characters. I think overall they worked better than the legacy characters. So I'd probably say Chris Pratt, Owen. I think he was my favorite out of the Jurassic World characters. I think he did a good job. You know, he's been acting, he's been, he's pretty charismatic. So I think he was selling what he was given. I think he probably did the best job to me. So I mean, nothing like super special and over the top or
Mm.
anything like that, but I think he did the job he could with this movie at least. At least he had that bond with, trying to save Baby Blue. And so I kind of like that idea right there. So Baby Blue, I guess that was another star of the world
There
character,
we
right?
go.
Yes, Baby
Yeah.
Blue, that was probably one of the best characters there. Bryce Dallas Howard's character to me was okay, but just I don't know. Nothing super special or unique to me there. And yeah, that's the world characters I'm remembering. But Last American Girl, what do you think of the world characters?
The world characters, they were okay. Again, with what we've been saying, that with how they've been doing in the previous movies, this one just it wasn't enough. With Owen's character, it felt like he was also just kind of jumpy. I've seen Chris Pratt act in a lot of things, and it wasn't his best performance. At least I didn't feel like it. And Bryce Dallas Howard, her character just felt too exaggerated from what the buildup has been. Like they always try to put her into something different. Like with the first movie, how she was in charge of the park. With the second movie, how she was this big non for profit person, and now here she's all of a sudden like a secret like activist. All that it just I didn't like her
That
build up
was
as a character.
Oh goodness, I'm glad. Well, not really glad you reminded me of that. That beginning scenes, that was so weird.
Yeah,
I don't
and especially since I mean, spoiler warning here, how she tells the guy that oh, like, are you and Owen like still a thing? She's like, yeah, like I guess we're a thing, kind of a thing, and it's like, oh no, they're playing parents.
Oh, and they totally were a thing. So I don't know if she was
I
trying to
know,
like mislead him. I don't. Oh my
but
goodness.
why?
And it was so weird. So it was those other world characters, right, that were I guess kind of helping her on her little activist missions, but they were
Mhm.
hired by the CIA, right? What?
I think he was part of the occupation.
Well, once again, going back to business 101 and hiring HR, like how did these people get CIA jobs? I want to know. They must be the best resume writers in the world. They must interview like no other. So congratulations to them. But it's like the CIA was just like, you know what? We need to get these world characters. It's like why them? Because they were on the Jurassic World island. I guess they had
I
interactions with
know.
some dinosaurs. Like,
But so
I
did
don't.
like everyone else, and it makes it seem that like everyone in that time has the same degree. Even now, look at the abundance of paleontologists we have.
Oh my goodness! It was
But
just.
I did like the girl though, the little girl, the actress. I don't remember
Oh,
her name.
oh, the clone one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Now I'm
liked I
trying to
liked her
remember.
act. I thought she was the best actress here.
Yeah, I think her acting was okay, but now that you remind me of her too, I kind of question her story as well. I don't think I ever liked the clone storyline for that. For
Mhm.
cloning a human. It's okay, but I don't know. To me, once again, these characters, they feel like they take away the focus from the dinosaurs. And I'm at
Mhm.
a Jurassic Park movie. I want to see more dinosaurs. Okay. I want the focus of the story to be on the dinosaurs as well. And they gave a lot of screen time to the clone human character. So it's okay. I don't know, but you're probably right. She probably was one of the better performers there. But once again, the bars were set so low here. And then who else did we get back? We got the evil scientist guy back again, right?
Yeah, and I did like how they were like, "Oh, it's always you," and
Yeah.
it is always him. He's even in. We were talking about it like the last episode, how he was in Camp Cretaceous. It was always him.
But they do something different with him because then he becomes like a good guy,
He
right?
becomes wimpy. Is
Well,
what it
yeah,
is.
yes, but he used to be evil, right? And then I guess he,
All of a sudden, he wants to change the locust problem.
yeah,
Like,
and then so he does want to help by the end of this one. So then he becomes, I guess, a good guy. So there's like that whole complete turn, which still didn't, I don't know, they did not explain that well enough. Like, what was his motivation for now turning? Like, that did not come across either. Oh my goodness. It felt like, okay, we got to have a
what
reunion
changed him?
show with all these characters. Let's try to make a story that works around that rather than,
Mhm.
okay, let's start with the story first. And then if the characters naturally fit in, perfect, let's use them. Remember, I said that in the pregame show. I'm worried with this one. Are they going to utilize all the characters correctly with their shining moments and have them fit perfectly? No.
They were just side characters. It was
Yeah, a lot of them got
like
sidelined.
fan
And that,
service.
yeah, it was just so odd. And that actually is perfect. That leads us into our fourth question, talking about sidelining characters here. Because to me, Bryce Dallas Howard, I think her character got a little sidelined to this new character, right? I don't
Mhm.
remember the new character's name though.
The pilot?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember her name either. She was cool
Yeah.
though. I liked her a lot.
Yeah, I thought she was okay. And yeah,
But
if you're
as
gonna,
a character, to throw her in, it was just like, why? Why
it
do we
was
need yet another character?
so unnecessary. It's like we already have this movie. It's so overstuffed with our world characters, our classic legacy characters. We already brought everybody and their mom back, literally. But
Yeah,
right, right, and now let's add some new characters here into the mix. So the pilot was cool for the pilot, but did we need the pilot in
did she
here?
fit in the story?
Right,
No.
yeah, could one of the legacy characters have been the pilot, or could have, Bryce Dallas Howard's character become the pilot, right? Something like that.
Mhm.
I felt like some missed opportunities here to,
Just
throw
the
in a
way
new
that like they
character.
met her, like it was just so
Yeah.
inorganic.
It was so random. What was it? Was it at like a dinosaur fighting like little like I'm trying it was like an underground market type of thing?
Yeah, like a black market with the
Yeah, where they're
dinosaurs, but
like
they're supposed
selling
to be like
dinosaurs or
sanctuary. They have like the fighting. It's just
you
again weird.
and it was so random how they got there too. Like when they were like, it just cut to there. I'm
And
just like,
whatever
wait,
happened to the blonde girl? Like, didn't she like run away and then like we didn't hear about her ever again?
I don't even remember a blonde girl. At this point, if there was another character in here, I totally did not remember. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, and now we got to talk about this new villain. Oh my goodness.
Locust?
I didn't even remember this new villain's name, but this mustache twirling villain, tropey cliche villain with the worst villain lines in history. Oh my,
If if Steve Jobs were a villain.
oh gosh. Why? So they added in a new villain in here when they could have just used the old classic villain they already had, but okay, whatever. Let's throw in a new villain. Oh my gosh. Worst villain in Jurassic history. And Jurassic hasn't had like the best, most memorable villains of all time or anything, but this one, no, no, no. So oh my goodness. No, no, no. I wish they would have made more of the focus on the dinosaurs being the villains. do something with that a little
Yeah,
bit more. I guess you
there
need
wasn't
somebody behind the
any
curtains, but
there wasn't any dinosaurs really, like nothing
yes.
interesting. Anything that you were like nervous for on the edge of the seat, like how it was for the
Oh,
last one.
yeah. This leads us into this
It
next
was just
question.
locusts.
Yeah, let's go to number 5 here because we're gonna touch on this here. What did we think of the dinosaurs and the environments? Like you were just mentioning.
What dinosaurs?
Okay, so it was weird. It's like the dinosaurs were there, like they're in the background. There's a lot of them roaming around. So there was a lot of dinosaurs in the movie, but they weren't enough of characters in the
No.
movie. And oh my goodness, how they treat the dinosaurs and just it feels like they're very normalized here, right? So basically, it's
Yeah.
just dinosaurs living in the world with humans, and humans have just kind of been like, oh, dinosaur attacks. Yeah, that's the norm now. We see that on a
Why are
Tuesday
people
afternoon.
camping? Why are people still camping?
I'm very confused
A
why
bear is
humans.
one thing. Bigfoot is one thing. T-Rex roaming around.
Oh, it's like, what's going on? So, like, these humans, there's no precautions taken anymore, right? Before, with the original Jurassic Park movie, okay, let's put up some gates and cages, electrified fences, all right, everything's secured. Now the world's just like, dinosaurs. We just hang out with dinosaurs. They're just like pets now, basically. It's just, if you run into a dinosaur crush and stuff, hey, that just kind of happens now, It's no, it was so weird. And what that caused for the movie is that even though a lot of the dinosaurs they looked cool, we lost our suspense of the dinosaurs, like you were mentioning. We lost the fear of the dinosaur. Like it no longer became like a horror story for me, where it's like in the first Jurassic Park movie, we didn't have a lot of dinosaurs, but when the dinosaurs show up, they're impactful either emotionally or terrifying. You see those couple of raptors, oh my gosh, you're terrified. And here, I really wasn't terrified of any of the dinosaurs, even when they get to the bigger dinosaurs. Oh, and hey, let's add a few new big dinosaurs too. And no, when they do that, it's just like, what? Well, what did you think, Last American Girl, of these dinosaurs here?
The dinosaurs were
Disappointed you?
just like an inconvenience to the characters. They weren't central to what you would consider Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. Like they were just there. I know one of them like took down a plane. One of them like ate someone. Or that kind of thing, but they weren't central to the plot. Like I learned more about the locusts than I did the dinosaurs.
Oh my goodness. Once again, with the locust storyline. Why? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we gave a lot more story to the locust, flying bugs, which we've never had a focus on in any Jurassic movie. Spend a lot of time with them. We have these cool dinosaur designs, at least give the dinosaurs more moments. And they really didn't. I mean, they kind of tried to shoehorn some big dinosaur battle into the very end, right? That
Mhm.
battle did not work
That
for
was
me.
okay. Really, it worked for you?
No, it didn't.
It worked.
It did
Didn't
not.
work for you.
No, it didn't work for me
Oh,
at all. No, no, no.
it's just
It was like they were trying to do a like Godzilla versus Kong kind of, throwdown at the end, right? But they had
and then
what
we
like
have the Edward Scissorhands dino come in.
yeah, what was it that dino? What was going See, it was too many new dinos. Like they're trying to sell us on this big dino, then this one dino with the
I like
claws,
the feather
Freddy
dino. That
Krueger
was
of
cool.
dinos. Yeah, but and so if they had that new dino, let's focus on that one dinosaur, make that dinosaur the true villain here. But we didn't get
Yeah.
enough time with that dinosaur, not enough terrifying moments. And then you just had these other two dinosaurs just basically like gang up on that dinosaur to take it out. Oh, and it was quick, it was pretty quick fight, but it wasn't suspenseful at all. There was no like intenseful, like edge of your seat moment. It wasn't there for me. No, no, no.
Yeah.
No. The more I think about this movie, the more mad I just get. Ugh. And so the environments were cool enough. I know you were kind of looking forward to the cinematography,
Yeah, I
right?
did like that. That was
How'd
great.
you like all of that?
Very, very good. I like the plane scenes. I like the even the cityscapes. The chases were awesome. A little again weird with the whole plane thing, but it's that kind of thing. And I always like different environments in movies and how they had the cabin with the snow and like there were a couple like forest scenes and ice scenes and the cinematography is the thing this movie has going for it.
Yes, that's probably the best part of the movie. You know, you're at least gonna make the movie look nice. And the movie did look nice. I liked all the different environments, like you were saying. We had different locations. So they gave us a good variety in there. But I almost want to say they gave us a little too many environments and locations. I felt like I was never in one long enough. Whereas
Yeah,
the other Jurassic movies, it's really like, okay, maybe we have two locations top, or maybe one location, like really
just
Jurassic
these in the
Park,
blur.
like yeah, Jurassic Park, like you go to the island, you're in the park setting. Same with Jurassic World, like hey, it takes like 10 minutes to set it up, but then you're in the Jurassic World theme park setting. It's just that isolated area, which to me makes it more terrifying when these dinosaurs are running loose, but it feels like these characters can teleport just like poof, they're into a new area.
The teleporting. Do we have a question leading into teleporting or can I
Well,
talk about
you
it
can
now?
talk about the teleporting now. What?
Okay. So so the guy who was working for the villain, um, he tells Dr. Malcolm, okay, here, run, Dr. Malcolm, take the car, run off, escape, and then all of a sudden they'll end up in the same place again. So, so what did Dr. Malcolm do? Did he just like run around and then come back and meet
Uh,
up with
this movie, I guess, thought we would not care as an audience. They thought, I guess, we would fill in the spaces of like, okay, they jumped here to here, so I guess we just figured how they got
or
there.
the helicopter, no, airplane scene, how the parachute scene. There we go. Wouldn't they have like crossed paths at some point if they had GPS? One of them had GPS and the other one had the landmark flames to go to. You think like they'd straight line for this?
There's no excuses with this movie with the technology they have nowadays. I mean, come on, we just saw Top Gun Maverick. We know the aerial technology that exists out there. We are not buying it in this movie anymore. A lot of just coincidental moments that we're just supposed to buy as an audience. Like, oh, it's a cool new environment, cool new action scene. Oh, look, a dinosaur, they're chomping at someone. Oh, that's cool. It's like, let's throw a lot of cool things at the screen. Let's distract the audience like a magic show. It's just like, ah, now
Like
we're over
the
here.
Barbasol, like really cool that they brought it back, but it was completely unnecessary to anything.
It was so random. Like, and if you're gonna do fan service, you're gonna do Easter eggs, references. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff, but make it organic to the story, make it
Make
make
it
sense.
subtle.
Yeah, just it's just like on the nose, like, oh hey, you remember this as a fan, right? Like, hey, that's what a lot of this movie felt like. It was just like, oh hey, you fans, you remember this, you remember that character, you remember that type of reference, okay, and I told you that's what I was worried about. I was so worried about this. I'm like, can we pull off a six movie here? Ooh, such a letdown, such a letdown. All right, now getting into our question six here. Did it live up to what the trailers promised? Now, to me, it actually did live up to the trailers for me. This is what I was expecting from these trailers, because the trailers, they felt very slow burn to me. I felt like, the story might have been all over the place, that they might have just shoved in these legacy characters with these world characters. That's totally what ended up happening. It did look like we were going to get a lot of dinosaurs, different environments, which we did end up getting. So, kept the promise on all that. So, I mean, the trailers did not lie to me. but I wish they did in this case. I wish they did hold back a little bit. They didn't give us, what
They didn't tell us about the locust.
Oh, they did not tell us about the locust. They did save that big reveal of the villain locust for the big screen. Oh gosh, maybe they should have shown that. They would have lost about another 20 million. And they were like, Locust, the star of the show. Oh my goodness. So yeah, they didn't show us the locust. They probably realized after the movie was done, they were like putting these trailers together. The marketing team probably got them, was like, wait, why are there so many locusts in here? Nobody wants to see a Jurassic movie for locusts. Yeah, let's leave that out of the trailers. Oh my goodness. So Last American Girl, did it live up to the trailers for you?
I'm gonna go with no this time because I was promised dinosaurs and there were not enough dinosaurs. There were more dinosaurs in the trailer than there were in the movie. There was in the movie, but we got Baby Blue. Baby Blue delivered, aka Beta. And we got legacy characters. Legacy characters were promised. Legacy characters were there. Could I have done with a movie based off of the trailer? Probably. Did I instead get a movie about locusts? Apparently so.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So it even just did worse for you than the trailers. Oh my goodness. Oh. That's not good. Well, hey, that means the trailer department did good work though, because
good marketing team. That's the only one that actually has a decent business degree. He went to an accredited college.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow, we're tearing this movie apart. It's so great, so wonderful. All right, let's get into, well, this is perfect. This leads us to our 7th question here. Were our expectations for this movie met? Now, I was at a 7 out of 10. So, did it get to around that range for me? No. My expectations were not met at all. This movie to me felt like a below average movie. And so if I looked at like a number 10 score of, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, middle 5 probably being average, I think I would put this movie below average. I would probably put it around a 4. I know I'm being brutal on this movie, but the story and the script were so bad. They were laughable. Like literally for me, they were laughable. That gets you knocked down quite a bit on the scale here for me. And yeah, so I wasn't expecting an amazing movie. I really was cautious with it going into the 6th movie in a franchise, bringing all these elements, trying to get them to work together. I was maybe I was a little too generous at the beginning, actually, because there's been movies that have pulled off legacy characters before, like the latest Scream movie. I'm a big horror fan, and I thought that pulled off legacy characters right with new characters. So I thought, hey, maybe this movie could do it, even though I was pretty worried. But no, still let me down. Did not meet my expectations. Last American Girl, how did it meet your expectations?
I don't remember what I rated this. I think I rated this like a 6 in excitement.
Yes, you were even below me on this. Low.
But it's like that one Malcolm in the Middle line. I expect nothing and I'm still disappointed.
I'm so glad you just dropped Malcolm in the Middle, one of the best sitcom series of all times. Go watch that, binge that, instead of seeing this movie. Just do it, because Malcolm in the Middle, amazing show to call out there. And that's from Dewey, right? I think that's a Dewey line, right? I gotta start using that line more. I expect nothing, and I was still disappointed. Oh my goodness.
It just like this movie felt like and like you said, maybe I was in a bad mood. I hadn't eaten. I was running late. I was telling you that I couldn't find tickets for it, so I had to go to like the freaking $15 movie, and it wasn't even like in a good theater. Like it was like a little screen.
Oh my! Did you see it on IMAX or premium
I
screen?
wanted to see it on IMAX, but I was running late, and the timing didn't match
Oh,
up. So
oh
I
no!
just saw it, but I was at the movie theater, so I had to pay $15 to go see this.
Oh my goodness! Oh, you're gonna have to get on a subscription pass service for these movie theaters.
And that's the worst part. I have the Cinemark pass, but I was picking up my parents from the airport, so we were already out there.
Mm,
Let's try to go see it. And there's a reason those tickets at that theater don't sell.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
I won't tell you which one, but
okay. Wow. Okay. Now I did see it on a premium screen,
yeah.
but it was not worth the extra money. I did choose the wrong premium screen for this one. So at first, I was gonna go see it IMAX. Okay.
Did you like those locusts in high detail?
Well, I was excited to go see it in IMAX, right? It didn't happen. Felt a little under the weather. Had to shift things around. See it a little bit later, another day. And so I saw it on 3D, just 3D, not 3D IMAX. Now I'm like, hey, this could be cool if they do the dinosaurs in 3D. They're popping out at you. Maybe it works.
What dinosaurs?
The three. Well, even with if there were more dinosaurs, 3D. I'll let everybody know out there. Waste of money for this movie. I don't think one single thing was in 3D. If there was a 3D thing, I think it might have been 3D. I think I might have seen a locust in 3D. So I think maybe that was the only time I think I saw something 3D, but I don't even know if there was a locust in 3D. I don't know if my eyes were tricking me because I wanted to see something in 3D. So I know they were flying all over the screen. I'm like, wait, are they popping out at me right now? I'm not too sure. I don't know. There's a lot of them. But 3D, big waste of money on this movie. 3D.
Good thing you told me that, because there were two showings. And we almost went to the 3D one. But I was already pissed that I was paying $15 to go see it.
Oh yeah, good thing you did not waste it on 3D. If anything, 3D might have hurt the experience, because then it's harder to see, with the film glasses. Really, if the movie wasn't filmed in 3D and really with 3D in mind, then usually it's just tacked on a little bit afterwards and doesn't really help. So
yeah, like my parents went to go see Doctor Strange in 3D, and
I heard that was pretty
great.
Decent. Yes. So that was a little reason why I was trying to make up the 3D, because I wanted to see Doctor Strange in 3D. Never got a chance to see it in 3D because they stopped showing 3D showings when I went back for my second viewing. So I
wanted to see Top Gun in the D box.
That would have been a cool. So
now it's Jurassic taking over.
Yeah. the locust flying at you. What happens with that?
Does the seat buzz?
Oh my goodness. I can't imagine this movie in D-Box. Now, Top Gun Maverick and IMAX was phenomenal. That was an amazing.
That one's still on IMAX, so yes. I'm gonna try for that one.
Yeah, that was wonderful. But this movie, yeah, like you said, I didn't expect anything, and I was still disappointed. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's move on to question 8 here. How would we compare this to the other 5 movies in the franchise? Now, I did drop a video on my channel. You can search it up there. One of my recent videos ranking all the Jurassic movies. If you saw that video, this one's at the bottom. Clear bottom. Oh my goodness. This franchise has gone off the rails. Basically, it has gone the way of Fast and Furious. You know how that franchise went off the rails? This movie went off the rails, and oh my goodness, it just is not making sense anymore. So yeah, I put this one at the very bottom. Just and you feel the same way?
Yeah. Yeah, like there's just no comparison. Even as we talked about in the last video, how even though I don't remember too much of the of 2 and 3, I still remember enjoying them. And I still know that I can go back to them as a standalone movie if I ever so choose to. But this one, spend another 2.5 hours of my life watching this again.
Oh gosh. It's yeah,
Watch
I
King of
mean
Cretaceous. That's way better. I know it's long, but trust me, it'll be a lot shorter than this movie was.
this movie, and oh my goodness. Yeah, this movie just hurts the franchise for me. And I usually don't like to say that about a movie. Like, okay, it's one bad outing here. The other movies still have their own merits, right? Other good
Yeah,
qualities
I'll
to
go
them.
back and watch the other ones.
Yeah, so I don't like to say this, hurts the franchise, but I am gonna say it because if I ever want a marathon Jurassic movies, and I'm like, okay, I got a couple days here, let me go marathon this, right? If I have to do another ranking of this, like a new Jurassic side spin-off story comes out, and I have to marathon these all again, I just know when I'm like, oh, when I get to that Dominion Day, oh no, just oh gosh, it's going to hurt so bad. And that's why it's like to me, okay, was this as bad to me as the Rise of Skywalker for Star Wars? Hmm.
I like Rise of Skywalker.
Okay,
We've had this
so
conversation.
so yeah, so you like Rise of Skywalker, okay? I did not so much. So I would feel like it's kind of on that level for me. So, yeah, they uh, this movie makes me so mad thinking about it. It just does. So yeah, clear bottom for me. Jurassic Park is still king. Then Jurassic World, and then yeah, if you want to see my other rankings in there, go back and watch my other video. But yeah, but what are your rankings, Last American Girl? Just kind of in general.
For me, I really like that for the first Jurassic Park. I'd say I think my favorite order would be the order they came out,
Oh, oh,
from best to worst.
so diminishing returns for this franchise, that is not a good thing. And
Um,
this leads us perfectly into our
but
ninth.
before we move on, I do have to say that, like I said, I enjoy Godzilla movies. I like big monster movies. So regardless of it, the main flaw of this movie was that I didn't get my dinosaur. I got locusts.
I know, and I know it feels like we're tearing apart this movie here. We're bashing on it. It may sound like this is the worst movie of all time in history. It is not the worst movie of all time. If you still want to see it, you haven't seen it yet, still go see it. You might get a kick out of it.
I mean, I texted you when I got out of the theater and I said it was great. So
Yeah, so you enjoyed it overall, you would say.
I'll
Okay.
take it.
Me, not so much. Well, I did enjoy going to the movies, but I'm kind of biased because I just like going to the movies. So even if I see a terrible movie at the theaters, I'm still like, I had a fun going to the movie theater experience. And there's some fun things in here, when you do see the dinosaurs, when you see Baby Blue, I mean, there's certain things in here that are okay. So it's not all bad, but
Yeah, and this is one of these movies that it's to escape from the heat.
yeah.
And I'm glad that it's 2.5 hours so that it gives you a nice break from the heat.
Oh, yeah.
But
And
that's the purpose of this movie.
yeah, and if you're feeling tired during this movie, just know you can probably take a nap. You'll be all right. Once the locusts come up, take a nap for a little bit. You'll be all right. Just get out of the heat to do that.
Those jumps, they happen for everyone, and it's part of the plot.
Yeah, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, wow, it jumped to something completely different. Did I miss something? Chances are you probably didn't. You probably with everybody else feeling the exact same way. uh, so this gets us to our ninth question here. leads us perfectly into this question of what do we think of the Rotten Tomato score, the critic response. Now, when I did my recording for the pregame show, it was at a 70 something percent. Okay. It was at a 70 something percent. All right. When I looked at Rotten Tomatoes, that's what I saw. I promise you all that. I did not mislead you on that. But unfortunately, a lot of the critic reviews weren't in yet. Okay. The critic reviews are now here. And I'm sad to report this is the worst Jurassic movie of all time in terms of a critic rating. 31% last time I checked it. It may have gone
31?
down 31%, which is extremely bad. Like when you're at a movie and it's rotten, like if it's like the 50% mark below, that's bad. 30% is like a whole new level of bad. I don't
Whoa.
I don't even know if Morbius got that score. A
I
lot of
like
people didn't like
Morbius,
Morbius.
so.
Oh, I like Morbius. This makes Morbius look like a masterpiece. I
Masterpiece.
just got my still book of Morbius in today. I'm gonna watch that right after this, and it's
Nice.
gonna be a good palate cleanser from this Jurassic movie. I'll tell you that right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, 30% area of a critic rating. Ooh, I'm not surprised though. After seeing the movie, I'm not surprised. Oh my gosh, yeah. Ooh. So the critics did not like this one. Does the score make sense for you, Last American Girl? Are you surprised? Because when I said that number, you got a little surprised by the 30%.
Yeah, 30% is so low. Like, I mean, personally, like I would have given it a thumbs up. I would have liked it. Like I came out like, okay.
So you were a
I
part of
liked
the
it.
30%.
I wasn't part of the 30%, but I felt like I was part of the 70% that did like it, but turns out I'm part of the 30%.
Okay, you know what? You're a part of the audience score because last time I checked the audience score, that was actually a lot higher. Now, I don't know if it went down since then, but I think it was 80 something percent. So
Yeah.
the audience score is a lot higher. So general audiences seem to like it more, a little bit more forgiving. I guess got the dino action they were looking for. So I guess
Mhm.
something worked for them. I guess the fan service got them going on it. So that's a good sign. It's
Mhm.
not like the audience score was terrible. Are you surprised by the higher audience score? Like
Yeah,
way
that
higher?
makes more sense because I mean critics look into other things like the plot and
Yeah, about the story. That's not
the
important for a
story.
movie. We don't need a story.
They're
We don't
more
need well
they're
written
critics, they're
characters.
critical. And this wasn't a good movie. But as an audience to have it higher, to have gotten some dinosaurs, gotten some fan service, have a resolution at the end, that's a lot that you can say about a movie.
I guess so. I guess it worked for some people, but yeah, I'm uh, just no for me. But yeah, let's get to our 10th question here, our final question here. What do we think of the movie box office? Now, our domestic score here, let me bring it up. I have it written down. We were at 142 million domestically opening weekend, and then globally 386 when I checked it. Now, I'm sure it's gone up a little bit above that since then. But domestically, opening weekend, that's an important score to look at, about the 140 range. Now, I was predicting above 150. I was assured of it. I felt really confident. If I was a betting man, I was going to bet above 150. I was wrong, but now that I reassess myself, I know hindsight's 2020 here, but I should have been less expectations on the box office. Not because 140 isn't good. I mean, 140, that's a really, really good score. Like, that's a good number. It's
They
just
made
not
their
a,
money back.
yeah. Oh, this movie is going to make money. Absolutely. This movie is going to make money. By the time it's done globally, theatrically, because this movie is going to play for a little while, I think. I think it will definitely make some good money at the. I mean, that's why Universal keeps making these movies. I mean, it makes
Yeah,
them tons of money.
they
So
gotta
a
pay
lot
for
of
the
people.
ride.
Oh yeah, the ride, all the merchandise. Um, but I thought it was gonna be more because I thought we were gonna get Marvel numbers, so that
Mhm.
was my fault. Not every movie is a Marvel Star Wars movie,
It's
so
a summer release. You'd think this would have a more of a following than Marvel. Dinosaurs? I mean, dinosaurs spanning over generations, like we talked about. We were so excited in the first video talking about how like our parents took us to see these movies.
yeah. And that's why I thought it was going to be more than 150 million. But you know what? My theater was pretty packed though. Like there was a lot of
Oh, I
families
couldn't find
in my
tickets.
theaters. Yeah. So I don't know who's so I think people were seeing this movie, just
Mhm.
probably not as much as we expected. And I think maybe that is because of the critic response and the reviews. I think some people were like, okay, maybe on the fence about it, maybe thinking, oh, do I need to rush out this weekend to go see it? Can I see it another weekend when the crowds die down? Or can I just catch it on streaming? You know, it's going to go over to Universal streaming platform, Peacock, probably in like 45 days. So
Oh,
you're going to be able to check it
cool.
out. That Yeah, I mean, because the streaming windows are so shortened now.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be a lot longer. It used to be 90 days back in the day. Then it went down to 60 days. Now with all the streaming wars, everybody's trying to get their content there a lot quicker. So maybe people saw the critic response and were like, hey, yeah, we don't want to go out to the theater. We'll wait till it gets to streaming. So I could see that happening. And maybe that's why it lost maybe like 20 to 30 million in there. Because I was pretty confident in being above 150. It didn't get there. And that's my only logical thought there. I think people did look at the critic responses, did look at the reviews, and some of them stayed home. At least that's what I'm thinking. What do you think, Last American Girl? Do you think that's what happened, or do you really think this movie's only
Um,
potential was that 140 million range?
I really don't think that this is one of those movies that people look at the critic score over to make their decision. It's the last in a film franchise, and we've discussed how the end usually does better because people go out either to watch it or just to finish the trilogy just out of habit.
Yeah.
And this was one of them, and I still think that this is a movie that parents are going to be taking their kids to escape from the heat, to have something to do. However, I will say that there was a kid next to me, and the kid was very anxious to go home. They were saying like, "Oh, when is this movie over?" And so maybe it's not one that they will come back to. But I mean, I have another younger cousin, and he liked it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I can see kids going to this movie. I can see families going to this movie. I could see
mhm,
parents maybe dropping their kids off at the movies to go see,
there we go.
yeah, like
That's
a
what
free
it's gonna be.
babysitting, I guess, for, well, not free, but
Two and a
but
half hours too.
yeah, for a dinosaur entertainment. So I could see that happening,
And I
but I
think that's
still,
gonna keep them afloat with earning more money.
yeah, so the movie did get to 146 million range. I'm still surprised because I thought with it being the final movie in a franchise, or at least that's how they marketed our legacy characters, you know, dinosaurs, people really like dinosaurs. You can bring the families out to this kind of movie. You get the old fans, you get the new fans. I thought it was going to be above 150 million. We didn't get there. So even though it did good, don't get us wrong, it did really good. It didn't do, I think, like stellar by any means. It didn't give us those Marvel numbers, which I guess maybe we shouldn't have expect
Not
anyway.
a Marvel movie.
But yeah. So how do we think this movie is going to do in the long run globally? Do we still think it's going to get above $1 billion? Now, I think this movie will still get to at least a billion. I do still think that's gonna happen because I think people will go and see this movie. Like you said, get out of the heat. It's a summer blockbuster, fun action dinosaur. You know, I mean, you name it. You know, this movie has it. You even gonna get the bug fans out to this one with the locust, of course. So I do think people will go to this movie.
Never met a Locust fan.
Yeah. Hey, maybe there's some
Any Locust fans,
out there.
let me know.
Oh, if you're a fan of Locust, woo, this is the movie for you. So I think this movie will have some legs on it, but I do think it is going to face some competition especially next weekend. We do get Lightyear, which is another family
Kids
movie.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so parents might want to take the kids out the Lightyear more so than Jurassic World Dominion, especially if they hear Lightyear is getting amazing reviews, which I think it is so far, as compared to Jurassic World Dominion, not so good reviews. So I don't think Dominion is going to have a lot of repeat viewings. I still think you'll get some people in that didn't see the movie this weekend. So I still think I'll do okay. I still think you'll get to 1 billion, maybe barely, but I don't think, yeah, I was saying, oh, this could get the 1.5 billion. No, it is not going to get there. No way. It's not going to do as good as the first Jurassic World movie. No, 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 not going to happen. Don't think it's going to do as good as Fallen Kingdom either. If so, maybe just right around that. But I do think I think we're going to have diminishing returns going into this next weekend, especially with the tough competition of Lightyear. What do you think, Last American Girl? How do you think this is going to do long run?
I mean, if I were to go to the movies right now to watch a movie, I'd go see Top Gun again.
Oh yeah, and I already saw that
I'd be
twice.
upset. Did you?
Oh,
I'd be upset that this movie is taking its place in.
Yeah,
But it was good. Go see it. I recommend. But
we totally just bashed this movie for like over an hour, just tore it apart. But if you want to see the movie, why not go for it?
Go see it. Don't miss out on it.
Yeah, so I guess this gets us to kind of our yeah. I guess this gets us to our final just sign off moments, just our last quick little general thoughts here. our recommendation, I guess, as you will have it. So for me, did not live up to any of the expectations. Major disappointment, below average movie. I would say you actually are okay skipping this movie for now, waiting for it to go to streaming and watching it then. Unless you did want to go see it. If you want to go see it just for the fun dino action and you just really like dinosaurs or bugs in this case, I think you will have a good time with the movie. Still go see it. Sure, why not? Get out of the heat. Go for it. But I can't highly recommend this one to most people out there. For the kids, yes. For the families, okay, go for it. But for the adults that care about the story, the writing, the character development, maybe not so much. Last American Girl, your final thoughts here.
Go see it. It's okay. It'll get you out of the heat.
They got to include that on the movie poster advertisements and the trailers. Go see it. It's okay.
If you're a movie critic and you're there to see an actual movie with an actual plot, don't. But I mean, if you're there to get out of the heat, to see the cinematography, I'm glad I did see it in theaters. I wish I hadn't paid so much for it. So maybe see it on discount day.
Yes, discount Tuesday. Go for that.
Go for that day. Because the cinematography and the filming and the way they made the dinosaurs, they used the practical effects with it again. So they were cheesy, they were cool. And I did like that. And that's what I like about these monster movies. I like the monsters. I like the dinos. So I like the landscape. So for that, it was worth it to me to see it in theaters. Would I have wanted to pay so much for it? No. But go see it. It's okay.
Okay. So where we're at the recap, I'm at a skip till streaming, and then our stronger recommendations here go on a discount day. That's the strongest recommendation you are getting out of this post-game show right here. So with that will do it for this post-game show of Jurassic World Dominion. Make sure you leave in the comments below, have you seen this movie? What did you think of it? Or if you were planning to see this movie, did we just crush all your expectations? Let us
And if you're a
know.
fan, and if you're a fan of locusts.
Yes, let us know if you're part of the Locust fan club. Also, of course, throw up some likes on the video for the Locust. Let's get those likes going. Also, if you really like this video, we have tons of other post-game and pre-game shows in the playlist. You're going to want to check that out. Click on another video. You know you're going to love it. So
We have a good time.
Yes. And so this is Mega Mike, the movie man, reminding you to make every day a movie day.